Hi guys, this is Erica Weston with Fox Sports Midwest, and you're listening to my favorite St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio.
Let's Go Blues Radio is powered by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Make your balls a priority this fall. Welcome to Season 9, Episode 8 of Let's Go Blues Radio. We're the often imitated but never duplicated, the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Make your balls a priority this fall. And through November 7th, as we mentioned last week, if you visit manscaped.com and use the promo code LGB for 20% off and free shipping, we'll send you some free stickers from the show. Just go ahead and share a photo of your purchase with LGB in the photo on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. And make sure you tag the show hashtag LGB Radio in your tweet or your Facebook post or whatever, and let us know about it, and we'll get you your free stickers. We're broadcasting live on Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. It's Happy Back to the Future Day. October 21st is the day Marty travels to the future and Back to the Future Part 2. So happy BTTF Day to everyone. This is franchise episode number 274 all time. Your host and I are yours truly, Kurt Price, Bill Day, and Jeff Ponder. And for your listening pleasure, for the next little while, we'll be talking St. Louis Blues hockey. To interact with the show on social media, you can follow the show on Twitter at LGB Radio. My handle is at Kurt Price. Bill's is at Billy Blue Note, and Jeff's is at JPonder94. Follow us on Instagram. We're dual live streaming right now on YouTube and Facebook. And for those watching the live stream right now on either of those platforms, thank you for joining us, and feel free to comment in the live chats, and we'll discuss what we can during the show. If you're listening to the podcast version of the show, thank you for joining us as well. And of course, the website is letsgoblues.com, where you can listen to or watch past episodes of the show, browse the fan discussion forum, as well as get some cool St. Louis Blues themed t-shirts and stickers that help support the show. Happy Back to the Future Day, guys. I'm dressed as Marty, for those that can see on YouTube, and you guys dressed as Jennifer, I guess. Is that what you guys got going on?
Kurt, I'm going to tell you what I said before the show started. I can't hear what you're saying. Your hat is too loud.
I thought you were going to say with my 2 Stanley Cup rings plug in my ear.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah. You only have one, though.
So, I mean, I think Jeff and I can pass for a couple of Biff's goons from the 1985 apocalyptic part of the movies. But I need to know, are you Marty or Marty Jr.?
I could be either one, because both Marty and Marty Jr. dressed this way in part 2. So
this is the best I can do. I've got Rick Vaughn glasses.
Nice.
But yeah, I wish I had the 3D glasses that the friend was wearing. Was that Flea? Wasn't that Flea wearing those?
No. I don't know.
Not Flea.
Flea wasn't wearing the 3D glasses.
No, Flea was in it. No, Flea was Needles.
He wasn't. Yeah,
Flea was Needles.
Needles. That's right.
He's the guy that got him fired.
That's right.
What are you, chicken?
Come on, Needles.
See you at the plant on Friday. Or tomorrow. McFry! McFry! Oh, man. Good stuff. Our official beers of episode number 274. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app. My handle is at cprice12. Jeff's is at jponder94, and Bill's is at Billy Blue Note 33. Jeff, or Bill, damn it! Every week I get backwards. I just go with who I say first, but I don't. I say Jeff, no Bill.
Matter?
It doesn't
Do
matter.
you care?
I don't care. I have a routine, and I don't know. I don't want to slight anyone. Why is he going first? I always go first. I don't know. So okay, yeah, Jeff. Let's do you.
So no, I'll just be slided every week. I see how it is. That's fine.
No, you have I go last, and Bill goes first, and Jeff's in the middle. That was what we always do, but I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Are these a little better for the glasses that the punk was wearing?
Yeah, I can see your monitors.
Blade shades.
Yeah,
I know. That's why I don't like wearing glasses. Like when I have meetings down here, I'm like, they can see what I'm looking at. So it's like, on the other screen, got Hockey Reference pulled up. What the hell's he doing over there?
And they can maybe see a reflection down and see you masturbating while you're on a Zoom call.
Oh, me tubing.
Me tubing. Is that the movement? Me tubing? Hashtag me tubing?
Me tubing. Yep.
If it isn't, we need to start it.
Is that?
Yep.
We should hashtag me tubing. Is that?
Surely. I don't know. I'm sure it is. I'm sure somebody else has already thought of it.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, the first link that comes up is Fox News. Hashtag me tubing. Of course.
Oh my.
Of course.
Yep.
The Fox would be all over that. Funny.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go first this week.
Sure, Jeff.
So, drinking out of my wonderful Labatt Blue glass. I am not drinking Labatt Blue. I'm drinking from my growler from Center Ice Brewery, which you can pick these up curbside, or you can just walk in and say, "Hey guys, I want a growler of something," and they will fill it up for you. This is the Locker Room Supply Amber Lager, as you can see.
Filled by Brody.
Filled by Brody. Our friend
Ah.
Brody, who's a listener of the show. We love you, Brody. Does a great job there at Center Ice. Blonde dude. The blonde dude. If you ever see him up there, it's not Steve. He's an okay bartender.
Yeah, Brody's been up there almost every time I've been there.
Yeah, he's always there.
Yeah.
But no, the Locker Room Supply is a great amber lager. Their best lager to me is always going to be the Old Arena, but second place for me is in terms of just overall beer. I'm a big Locker Room Supply fan, so try that if you haven't had it before.
Bill, what's yours? What do you got?
Well, keeping with the theme, I am also drinking a Center Ice beer. Sheldon doesn't like it, apparently.
You really need to actually take a napkin and kind of do the whole pat your lips on the napkin to get the lipstick off before you drink the white can, because your lipstick really shows on the corner of the can.
Yeah, love that detail, but yeah, I don't know. Great pumpkin spice lager from Center Ice Brewery. Hey,
what are you doing to that poor dog?
He wants a beer.
That's what it is.
The one dog is chewing the other dog's ear right now. So
one dog.
Is it a zombie dog?
Yes.
It sounds like it's either a whale mating or a leaky metal door on a ship.
Were you there the time that I couldn't get that straight? I kept saying male's waiting.
Male's waiting. I was there. And I almost said male waiting. I almost did.
It's so easy to do.
It really is.
Oh man. That was our teenage years.
I know, right?
Insane.
The Brian Regan worshiping years.
Yes. So anyway, pumpkin spice lager, Center Ice Brewery. It's a beaut, but it's not the beaut. It's a beaut.
Right. I
don't
had
want to confuse people.
I had the pumpkin spice on Saturday at Center Ice Brewery. Went over there, and it was I enjoyed it quite a bit. Mine tonight is I'm going to stick with the St. Louis theme. I didn't do Center Ice, but I did chocolate milk stout, which is from Four Hands. Where's the camera? Get the glare off there. The chocolate milk stout from Four Hands, one of my favorites. It's not the Absence of Light from Four Hands, which is the peanut butter chocolate milk stout. It is the chocolate milk stout from Four Hands, which is a good one. Fall beer, nice fall beer from St. Louis, from a fantastic brewery in Four Hands.
Real quick, we've got a comment here in Facebook from Mary Ponder. Yes, folks, that is my mother. She says, I'm here. Thanks for joining us, Miss Ponder. We appreciate it.
Wow, well, that's what we appreciate about you.
Is that what you appreciate about her?
That's yes, exactly. What is that? Something's in my ear here.
Hey, we just sitting here. Is that it? Is that the show?
Thanks for
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Hold on. I've got feedback in my. Why do I have feedback in this? I'm hearing the show again. There we go.
You might have your YouTube show playing.
I did, but I don't know why it just all of a sudden turned on. That was odd. It was paused. Okay. Sorry, I don't know how Tom Calhoun did at that time. He was on our show, and he was hearing feedback, and he heard the show like on a 3-second delay in his ear. He did a fantastic job, and I just did that. And I was like, no, we're shutting the show down until I can fix this because it's impossible. I can't think.
Years ago when I had Mr. Blues hat on, I same thing. I had feedback in my ear the entire time, and it was funny because I was really trying to focus on what I was saying. If you go back and listen to that conversation, I'm talking like this because I am really trying to make sure I'm emphasizing what I want to say.
Yeah. And trying to, I don't even, I'm sure it's happened a lot. It's called a mix minus problem in mixer speak. And I'm sure it happens often because it's an issue that you have to have things wired in your mixer. And I don't know how I'm sure it happens all the time, and how people deal with it. If they do and do a good job, more power to you, because that's a tough thing to do. Today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STL Blues History Twitter accounts, October 21st, 1989 and 1992 is the Great Ron Caron. So Ron Caron has 2 different years here in the Blues history. Something on today's date in 89 and 92. In 89, he used 3 modes of transportation to describe a 6-4 St. Louis Blues loss to the Kings, which I remember this quote and this article, and it's funny. Let's see, it was in the wake of the Blues 6-4 loss to the Kings. The game, he said, the game is not played with airplanes, with everyone flying. He said it's played with tanks. That's the way we've got to play. It's foot soldiers. You can't take Cadillacs out of Thunderbirds. We played Cadillacs and Lincolns last night. We forgot our dimension. A horse could be behind in the third quarter. Then it opens up. Secretariat can come back and win. So, translation: we have to play within our limitations, he said.
That's good old Ron Caron for you.
Good stuff.
He definitely had the meat on the burner for those quotes.
Oh, someone was going to ship to Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
1992, Ron Caron chewed out the Blues organist, for lack of atmosphere in the St. Louis Blues 5-5 tie versus Quebec. Yes, youngins, there used to actually be ties in the NHL back in the day. And the article is in the tweet here from STL Blues History. Says the general manager, Ron Caron, was upset with his team's play early in the season. He even chewed out the organist during the tie. Caron left his private box during a play stoppage. He steps to the roost of organist Tom Doctor and verbally abused him for the lack of atmosphere at the arena. Only an egomaniac, and this is Tom Doctor saying, only an egomaniac would insult and humiliate somebody in front of hundreds of people like that. I've never been harassed on the job in my life. Caron's beef was that the loud music played in outposts such as Quebec and Montreal intimidated the officials. He also said he wouldn't have berated Doctor's predecessor, Ernie Hayes, the late, great Ernie Hayes, which Cardinals and Blues fans should know his name easy. But no one would have berated him in a similar fashion. So Caron was more impressed with Doctor by the next game against Detroit. The Blues were so bad, Caron praised Doctor.
How bad were they?
They were so bad that that guy was our best player. Talking about Tom Doctor, the organist. So either he felt bad about chewing him out last game, or he genuinely felt he played better, I guess.
Think about how far we have come. The fact that the organ is hardly even used anymore.
I know.
And back in the day, it was a source of inspiration, according to the Blues general manager.
To intimidate officials.
Yeah.
How? I mean, and to be honest, I mean, I guess if you watch, I don't know, Slapshot or any of these older hockey movies where there's an organ playing and there was an organist, that was the music in the arena. The organ played in between plays, and it was fantastic. And I guess maybe in some buildings, the organist could play certain ways and have certain styles where it was kind of intimidating, I guess. I guess it depends on the acoustics of the arena too, but yeah, the organ is kind of a thing of the past as far as hockey arenas go. You don't hear it too much anymore.
Unfortunately,
I know, right? It's
our friend Jeremy Boyer does a great job. We just don't hear him enough.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he does his thing up there, but they pump in a lot of piped in rock and whatnot, popular music. So, which I get it. I mean, people like to hear the popular stuff, but man, if an organ just isn't a hockey arena to me growing up and everything, it's just, I don't know. Nothing beats it for me. We had this discussion on the Let's Go Blues forums years ago, when they were transitioning to more and more rock music and stuff, and there was a faction of the user base on the site at letsgoblues.com that was all about wanting more organ music, and there was another faction that said, no, screw that. I want to hear good popular music pumped in. And it was almost like, I'm like, what's going on? I can see the mindset of fans changing before my eyes as far as what they want played at a hockey arena. It's like the younger fans want this new popular stuff, and then the more established fans or the older fans or whatever, they didn't want things to change. So, and I don't get me wrong, I like piped in music. I like that's fun. I like music that is popular that I like, but to me, if I'm at a hockey, I can hear that music anytime. If I'm at a hockey game, I want to hear more quote unquote hockey atmosphere stuff, which has always traditionally been pipe organ.
The thing that I always miss the most. Oh, I'll make a quick point, Bill. The thing I miss the most is like when the puck would like go out of play and you hear the and then like you'd hear a song played on the organ, like it would just bleed into a song being played. And every now and then you'll still get that from the organ when that happens, but then they start playing in piped in music, and it's just, yeah, I'm with you, man. The feeling of hearing the organ until the next puck drop is just, that's hockey to me.
Yeah, no, I think there still needs to be a good mix, and I'm glad that, Jeremy Boyer is still well employed by the Blues. I loved seeing his, during the bubble tournament, him playing, for the quote unquote home games. That was great. And I mean, if you think about the allure of the greatest sports video game of all time, NHL 94, half of the allure of that game is the music, right? True. And it's all organ-based music, brass bonanza, when the Blues go marching in, all of those. Just like I still play the sim. I haven't picked up NHL 21, but I hear they brought it back in the game, and that may be the only reason I pick up NHL 21. But to me, that really was the draw of those early video games, the early hockey video games on Sega.
Brass Bonanza, you say, Bill? Well, how about this? Yeah, I'm a nerd.
That's
I played last
stuff.
week that
Holy
Vancouver
shit,
was my
Vancouver
notification. Vancouver. And now my ringtone is definitely Brass Bonanza from NHL 94.
That's my childhood. That is my childhood.
It's a beauty. I mean, no, growing up, going to games at the old barn, hearing, Ernie Hayes. And I actually have an Ernie Hayes record that has like 2 good tracks on it, as far as I'm concerned, but it's got Game Time. And anytime I hear Game Time, whether I'm down at the ballpark or at the Blues game, and that comes on, it just takes me back to my childhood, and I'm instantly happy. Just such a wonderful, like, where you are when you hear that song, and it just puts you in the right place.
Ernie Hayes put out a CD or a tape. Was it a tape or a CD? That our friend Landon, friend Landon,
it was a record that he recorded.
A record. Tape. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, well, I had a CD. He gave me a CD. He gave you a tape. It shows.
Right. Landon's that guy that, heavy into early tech. I'm sure he was the guy that was, recording it onto his computer, in mid 90s.
Remember the track, The Door's Ajar? Remember that?
I do.
Remember how cars, early talking cars, if the door was open, the car would say, "The door is ajar." And every kid in the world did the stupid joke. No, it's not. It's a door. It's not a jar. But yeah, and he, for some reason, he had something like some kind of a new wave techno like track on there that had the door as ajar and a door slamming shut, and that was basically about it, with a little bit of organ. That was weird. That was an odd track by Ernie Hayes. Anyway,
yeah.
For those of you who are familiar with the Ernie Hayes record, then you'll know the door is ajar, which is an odd. I never understood that. Weird. And
real quick,
I should share that on YouTube actually, because I've got those tracks. I should put some on YouTube.
Do that.
Ernie Hayes,
sure.
He's passed away. I mean, he's not going to yell at me.
Well,
I should.
Kids
I will.
might, but I doubt they would. As long as you're not making money off it, who cares? Race fan Rocks 4, again, the biggest Eric Brewer fan we know. He says, "Give me Holiday" by Green Day as a goal song. Is that the one? That was on American Idiot, I think. Holiday. I wasn't a big fan. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that one.
I like Holiday. The album or the songs?
Each his own. The album. There's a couple songs.
Does somebody use that? I can see using part of Holiday for a goal song.
I'm a Dookie. I'm pretty purely international super hits and Dookie with Green Day. That's about it for me.
I can see using part of Holiday for a goal song. I can see where that fits based on what teams using for songs nowadays. I give me. I don't care. Give me the Budweiser theme and the blues score on the organ. That I love that. And then when the blues go marching in, that's fantastic. Or vice versa. It's fantastic. October 21st, 1999. The St. Louis Blues honor Pierre Turgeon for milestones of 1,000 games and 400 goals. Which this was brought up on Twitter the other day during a conversation about Adam Oates. When someone said that he thought Pierre Turgeon was the Blues' best center ever. Gretzky. He said Gretzky didn't play her long enough to qualify for that, which I'll buy that. So, who is the Blues' best center of all time? What do you guys think?
Peter Chanik.
All right.
Peter Chanik, number 1. Number 2, we'll go Jay McClement.
Was Peter Sandy who's a winger? Sano was a winger, wasn't he?
Sano was a winger.
Right winger.
If we're talking Peter Zezel.
Peter Zezel.
Zezel. Hell yeah.
Zezel was fantastic. Good soccer player.
I'll think of some more goofy ones while you guys get serious.
Yeah, so getting serious. I think it's it comes down to Adam Oates, and it's, again, so sad that he didn't get the money that he deserved to stay here. How great would that have been, to see Hull and Oates together for a couple more years? But I think Oates, Turgeon, I think O'Reilly's going to be on that list before all is said and done.
Yeah, he's up there already. When you the point you brought up about, and I'm, one of Oates' biggest fans as far as on ice play, but you mentioned the money he deserved. That's an interesting conversation, because that's why he left, was the whole contract squabble. He wanted to renegotiate his contract for the second time in like 6 months because of the salary kind of structure kind of changed in the NHL and players were making a lot more. And he wanted to make more money. And the Blues reworked his contract in the offseason, and then he wanted to do it again midseason, and they didn't. They said no. And he kind of threw a fit. He kind of was made things difficult for the Blues. Didn't come out to acknowledge the fans when he was named the number 2 star in a win. And that was like the last straw for Mike Shanahan, who said after he didn't come out to acknowledge the fans, he went to Caron right after that and said, "Trade Oates." And he was gone 12 hours later, and we had Janny, and he was in Boston. So that was a weird, stupid, and that couldn't happen nowadays because players can't do that now. It's against CBA to hold out like that for you can't renegotiate contracts. So
it's against our rules.
It's against the rules. Yeah, You go to the box. 2 minutes.
All right, I got
You
two
feel
more
shame.
goofy ones. Two more goofy ones, and then I'll throw in a real one. Nick Drazenovich and Mike Zigomanis deserve some recognition. But no, in all, yeah, he was a face-off god. I will give him that. My God,
Who? Mike Eastwood?
that dude won every face-off he took. Mike Eastwood too.
Mike Eastwood.
There's another one.
I couldn't stand Mike Eastwood. I could not stand. He was one of the Blues. We should have a show strictly on Blues players we absolutely hated, and Mike Eastwood was one of them for me.
You know what? I will say I never understood the hate for Mike Eastwood. When the Blues got him, we knew he was a center that could take face-offs, and that was it. But for some reason, people thought he was better than that. Like he should be better, but he wasn't.
I thought he was
overused.
Never was
his whole career.
I thought he was overused for what his talent level.
Well, that's not his fault. That's the coach's fault.
Well, you know how it is with fans and anybody. It's like he's players on the ice too much, and he's like, "You suck, get him off the ice." So sure, yeah, I guess you always want the coach for when a player's on the ice, but yeah, he'd take face-offs.
God who abused the rules with the size of his stick.
I mean,
his blade was, I mean, definitely maximum. Right. It was maximum regulation, if not bigger. I think I recall, and I don't trust my memory because it's gone to shit these days, but I think I recall at least one occasion where his stick was challenged for legality. Not as famous as Marty McSorley,
no.
But
well, the Blues would have had to make the finals for it to be as famous.
Right.
That was a situation where they hadn't been there in forever.
So I will add that in all seriousness, I think Pierre Turgeon's name definitely belongs up there as one of the greatest centers in Blues history. Mm-hmm. The one I would definitely argue against that is somebody he played with. Now, I know he wasn't a center the whole time, but Pavel Dimitra probably deserves some recognition, right?
He wasn't known as a center.
He played a lot after Turgeon left. He played primarily center.
Did he?
Between Kachuk and Mellencamp.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did.
I just remember him being a winger.
He was a winger before Turgeon moved on.
Right. As a pure center, though, I don't think he makes the list. But, and that's an interesting discussion too, right? Compare and contrast Dimitra and Turgeon. How, where do they fit in overall greatest Blues players? They've got to be close.
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
especially. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say a little bit of a different dynamic. You expected more goals out of Dimitra, but could set anybody up, and but Turgeon was more of a passer. But
part of the draw for me with Dimitra, he's a fantastic player, loved Dimitra, but I think part of the draw for me was that the fact that how we acquired him was a steal of a trade too. So that's like icing on the cake. It's like, gosh, he was a great player, and we didn't give up crap to get him. So that's always a nice bonus when you actually like O'Reilly, for example. O'Reilly's fantastic, right? One of the best centers in the NHL. But what we gave to get him was we gave them spare parts to get him. So it was just an unbelievable acquisition. So
spare parts, bud.
Yeah, 10 ply, 10 ply spare parts.
Now
Christopher Olsen, right?
Yep. Yeah. Christopher Olsen. Let's not overlook the fact that there's one name that I think I'm sure there's people listening on the podcast right now that are probably screaming at their phones. Bernie Federko.
Yeah.
I mean, Bernie is, to me, he is the best. But obviously, if you want to get into eras and all that, then you're talking about something else. But I think Bernie is a guy that definitely deserves that title.
Yeah, I don't recall Bernie as a center, right? I don't know. Again, my memory's shit now, but I do.
What do they?
I considered him more of a winger. But if he was a center,
I remember him mostly with Sutter and insert right winger here.
He was
Losky and a couple other guys.
Hockey database lists him as a center.
Really?
Yeah, but I remember him as a center. When he was on Sutter's line, wasn't Sutter the center?
No,
thought
center was left wing, I thought.
Maybe you're right.
I'm gonna have to go back to the Jeff Ponder YouTube channel and just do some deep dives into 80s Blues games. It's
Yeah,
the only
do
way
that.
to rectify that situation.
I'm fairly certain he was mostly a center. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's why a lot of people overlooked him.
Yeah, Brian Sutter lists as left wing, so okay. Yeah. I mean,
Well.
according to Hockey DB, so. That, I mean, the Brian Sutter Federico era was coming to an end when I started to become a big, huge Blues fan. So I didn't experience a ton of Sutter, like a few years.
Yeah.
Well, my answer officially to that question is Bernie.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I can see why Pierre Turgeon makes the. Yeah, go ahead. What do you got?
Bernie Federico.
Okay, there you go.
For your vote for best center, Blues? Is that what you said, Bill?
Yeah, if he's considered a center, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense. I guess he never put up the numbers in any one season like Oates did, but Oates was not here near long enough. I mean, well, if you're gonna say, oh, he's here about two and a half seasons, if you're gonna say that Gretzky wasn't here long enough, and he wasn't, he was here 27 games, then what's the line? How long do you have to be here to be considered the greatest Blue at that position? I mean, is 2.5 seasons enough?
You say Bernie didn't put up the numbers. He had 400-point seasons.
No, Oates had over 100 assists in a couple seasons, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean,
Oates.
But I'm just saying.
I'm just
where's the mark? What's the benchmark?
When Oates was here, his seasons were second to none as far as a setup man goes. Granted, he had Hull on his line, but still, I mean, the numbers are what they are. So,
I mean, looking at the numbers, the two full seasons he was here, Oates, 90 assists, 115 points one year, 79 assists, 102 points the next. Bernie,
okay.
I mean, 104 points, 107, 103, 102. I mean, to me, the numbers speak more in Bernie's favor. If we're talking about him being a center.
I was thinking Oates had 100 assists.
90 assists was the highest he had in St. Louis.
Yeah. Up here and look
now, he did have 97 assists with Boston 2 years after the trade.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, 115 points, 102 points. So, yeah, okay. I mean, for some reason, I was thinking he was over 100 assists. So, okay. That's a difference maker. Then I'll go with Bernie. If he had cracked the 100 assist mark in a season, I'm thinking, or 2 seasons, I'm like, oh, you can't. That's hard to ignore. But
yeah, Bernie, just one of the most elite players to ever play the game. Just unfortunately played in an era where he was overshadowed.
And they're both Hall of Famers. I mean, Oates and Federico. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're arguing apples and oranges when you're debating between the two.
You're arguing Gala apples and Honeycrisp apples.
Oh my God, you go to Eckert's too much. Races Fan Rocks 4 says Vancouver uses "Holiday" by Green Day. Okay, that's what you were thinking of.
It makes sense. I've heard it before somewhere. Yeah.
And Austin Lynch
can't go taking someone else's song.
Austin Lynch says, hey, how y'all doing? I'm listening while working out tonight, so won't be chatting much. Austin, what is it, a leg day? You don't skip leg day.
Yeah, it's leg night. He's a nighttime workout guy. Which, that's when I'm on the treadmill, it's always late at night. So I hear you.
Man, I used to run at like 10:30 at night. I can't do that anymore. I used to go out and run
at like 6 a.m. That's the only time I can ever get motivated to do it because I haven't.
It's hard to get up.
I haven't. Like, if I get myself out of bed and start putting on the shoes, I haven't gotten to the point of being awake enough to talk myself out of it. But after
Bill,
that, I will easily talk myself out of it.
Do you shave your balls before or after your run?
That's a good question.
Typically before.
All right.
Well,
good.
Well before. Like night before. weekend before.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, you shave them before, you might have some sandpaper stuff going on where you're running, a lot of friction.
You don't want that.
Yeah. You got to use that crop duster stuff, the Manscaped stuff to pH balance the area and soften the skin and everything. Soften the hair so you don't get all.
This feels like a segue.
It's not. It's not.
It's not.
Yeah, our
not,
Manscaped spot
yet?
isn't for a little bit. No.
But man,
hey, to those listening, check out manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with promo code LGB. It would help us out a lot. Thank you very much.
I don't think it's weird, Bill, for me to ask you about when you shave your balls. That's not weird. I would ask you that without the sponsor.
That's how we do on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Also, October 21st.
I know in private, just not on the show.
October 21st, 1999. Blues unveil the banner for the old arena in a 3-2 overtime win versus the Edmonton Oilers on a goal by Jeff Finley. Offensive juggernaut Jeff Finley. It was their third straight win early in the season. And looking at the old arena logo, it's got the arena with an image with a 1929 and 1999 below it, and home of the Blues. And they gave out, or I bet you Bill's getting his thing.
Yeah, post. And I have one around my basement too. I'm looking for it. Yeah, I have that.
So do I. And mine's rolled up. I gotta get it framed. That's a nice frame.
Yeah,
mine's
this
framed.
Is actually
I got
very poorly framed. If I move it over a little bit, you'll see that it actually sticks out the side. I need to get this reframed.
Yeah, mine's in the tube.
Yeah, that cleaning out the parents' house a little bit, and that was one of the gems that I found.
Yep. So those on YouTube, Facebook streams can see Bill's picture that we're talking about.
You are missing so much, folks, when you're listening to the podcast. I mean, if you tune in live, you get to see that. And right now, I am officially holding up a naked picture of Bill Day, and you're missing it. I mean, that's huge. And when I say that's huge,
wow. And
oh boy.
I wouldn't say they're missing it, Bob.
Yeah. And it's hard to see my Marty McFly jacket with on the podcast. So I back up a little bit and see it. Arms.
That's nice.
Kurt, here's an idea. Why don't you just stand in the background the rest of the show, and Bill and I can just handle it.
All right, I'll just pose.
That way people can see your whole outfit. Yeah.
I've got it. My hoverboard's upstairs. I have a hoverboard that I made. Have you seen it? Have you seen it, Jeff? I made it.
I have seen it.
It's amazing.
You're very proud of it.
I am. I wouldn't have, if I was not proud of it, I wouldn't have brought it up on the show. October 21st, 2003, St. Louis Blues trailed the Edmonton Oilers 3-0 in the first period, but Chris Pronger led the way with 3 assists as the St. Louis Blues came back to score 5 straight goals for a 6-4 win in Edmonton. Sometimes I read these things as they're tweeted, and on Twitter you're limited on characters, so there's words that are left out that you don't have to leave out when you actually read the stuff on the air.
So for anyone who wants to see that game, you can hop on over to Jeff Ponder's YouTube page, and I think it might just be the highlights of that game, but I definitely have that game up. You know what? I may be wrong. I don't know, but I know that at least the highlights are up, so you can actually see that game, which was a great comeback. I watched that recently, and it's awesome.
Did you see the my message to you, Jeff, about the inquiry you had on the letsgoblues.com forums?
Yes, and Jan, if you are listening, he actually emailed me as well, and I'm an awful person and did not get back to him. So, Jan, if for whatever reason you are listening to the show, I have it saved in my inbox. I will pull it up and show Kurt and Bill so they can vouch for me. But I have it in my inbox. It is sitting right there. It's like my third email, and I just haven't responded yet. So I will get back to you. Let's say tomorrow. I'll get back to you on Thursday.
Do you have a Peter Smerrick game too?
I do not, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
I'll have to check. I'll have to check his game log, but I'm fairly certain I don't.
He's from Slovakia, and he is a huge Smerrick fan.
I liked him.
Right, he was a left-hand defenseman, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember. I do recall a game where they were. I think Ken Wilson was kind of joking, making light of the Blues having to use him, and he scored a goal. Wrist shot from that left point.
So he
Could
played
be
a
wrong.
couple different
Like you said,
seasons with the
memory
Blues, just a couple here and there. I may.
So if
looking
anybody
at
out
these,
there
I
has,
may have one.
if anybody out there has video or game footage of Peter Smrek, Smrek, from back in the day, let us know, or go to letsgoblues.com forums and reply to his post with what you have, and maybe you can work something out, put it up on YouTube or something, because he seems like a very nice fan and just wants to watch video of his favorite player, and he's having a hard time. So
Don't blame him.
yep. October 21st, 2003, the St. Louis Blues trailed the. I just read that one. October 21st, 2011, Jason Arnott scored in his third straight game, a home game to start the season, and Matt D'Agostini, blast in the past, scored at 3:58 of overtime to give the Blues a 3-2 comeback victory over the visiting Carolina Hurricanes. I liked D'Agostini a lot, probably more than most people when he was here. I thought I just something about him, liked him. I want to say, was it D'Agostini? I think D'Agostini reminded me of Dimitra?
Scott Young.
Scott Young.
Scott Young's who D'Agostini reminded me of.
Okay, I want to say that was the way. Maybe it wasn't somebody else. I think I'm thinking of somebody else.
Maybe Yuri Himalev.
No, I don't know. Rapid fire tidbits from around the NHL. This one is interesting. So, and I thought we'd talk about it since there's honestly not a ton of Blues news to talk about. We got a few things we can touch on, but the news around the NHL is a little bit more topical, I guess, right now. So, some USA Hockey made a tweet that said it's about girls hockey. It said, it was pretty simple, straightforward. Look good, feel good, play good, and clapping hands, and hashtag girls hockey. And it's got a little girl, cute little girl, probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, and she's in a pink jersey. Looks like she's suited up. Looks like she's suited up or getting ready to suit up, and she's getting ready to play. She has shoulder pads on, and she's like on the like in the lobby or something, and she's putting lip gloss on. And boy, people got upset about it. Some people got upset about this. A lot of people got upset about this. And they were ticked about saying that showing girls in makeup or putting on makeup before playing sports and, quote, looking cute is sexist or degrading or is pushing the women's movement back or something. That's the direction that a lot of people are going. And I'm sensitive to all the things that people are pushing nowadays with wanting people to respect and others and not demean and whatnot. I get that completely. I do, but I think this is one of those particular cases. And if you guys disagree, feel free to say so. But I think this is just they're looking for something that's not there. They're reading between the lines on this thing. One of the tweets was. A response was, I'm a dad of 3 kids who all play hockey. 2 of them are girls. I can't in my right mind fathom why having a young girl putting on lipstick would be an appropriate image to connect to hockey. That type of sexist messaging needs to go away. And that was the general theme of so many people that were responding to this tweet. And I'm like, I don't get it. Apparently people are saying that have responded that know her, and Jeff pointed this out too, that she plays a lot of hockey. She's decked out in pink a lot all the time and enjoys wearing makeup for games. And USA Hockey was supporting her, made a whimsical tweet saying, yeah, you go, girl. Look good, feel good, play good. I thought it was a fantastic tweet. I thought there's nothing sexist about it. They're supporting her in however she wants to play hockey. She can do whatever she wants. It's the opposite of sexism. It's supporting this girl and what she's doing. They aren't making any claims that the people are claiming they are, that you have to wear makeup to play this way, or girls should wear makeup, or whatever. They're not trying to stereotype. I don't think anyone who says that this is a sexist tweet, I don't know. I think is trying to read between the lines on this stuff and fill in the blanks with their own kind of agenda here.
I would love to get to you know what? Maybe I might actually do that because I do have some contacts with USA Hockey. I'd love to ask them if that picture was sent to them or if they took it, because I'm going to guess it was sent to them. Because,
yeah, I think so.
Again, from what I read from people who say they knew this girl, that's what she does. She wears a pink jersey for like the Learn to Play or whatever she's in. And I'm sure that she was probably doing that one day, putting it on, and the dad or mom, potentially was like, I'm going to get a picture of this, and then maybe posted it on social media and tagged USA Hockey. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I doubt this was a photo shoot by USA Hockey.
No.
And that's what makes it odd, because again, I used to work with USA Hockey in my full-time job back in the day. And I'll admit, most of their social media stuff was of what people sent them. They didn't go out in the field and take pictures and say, oh, we're going to have a photo shoot and do this, this, and this. It was, we got this great content from this guy in Colorado. Let's use this if he's okay with it and post it on our Twitter page. So that's probably what happened, which to me really says, if you know the background of USA Hockey, that this is not a sexist thing. This was something they were just sharing that they received. And I'll add too, I follow a lot of the NWHL players, and I've seen posts like this before. I can't remember her name, but there is I'll have to look her up because she's awesome. She's on Instagram, and she's a goalie. And she posts pictures where she like gets her hair done and like gets makeup on, and she goes on the rink, and somebody takes some really cool pictures of her like making saves with her mask off. And it's really cool. And I think it helps promote female hockey. And so I'm all for it. And I don't want to say I was shocked to see the reaction, because I'm not shocked by anything like that nowadays.
I was annoyed.
I'm with you, Kurt. I think it was a little overblown.
I was annoyed by the reaction. That's my, because I just, it was one of those things. I thought people were just making a big deal out of nothing, that, trying to find outrage in something that's not there. I saw a lot of people posting pictures of their daughters or women playing hockey, apparently not wearing makeup or whatever, and saying in the tweet, "Here, we fixed it for you," in response to USA Hockey. What the hell does that mean? I don't get that.
Right. I agree with you. The comments that you guys are making, in terms of, if this was a USA Hockey photo shoot, if this is, somebody that, doesn't typically dress like this and, doesn't put on makeup when she's playing hockey, that is a bad idea to promote that out there. But, reading through the tweets, I saw somebody post that, their daughter plays in the same league with this girl, and she wears pink. She wears, that's who she is. Let her be her. Maybe USA Hockey can, keep, use this as, one tweet to promote female hockey. I'll tell you, I don't follow USA Hockey on Twitter, but this can be one tweet. There can be other tweets. Let the kids be the kids, right? Promote it, grow the game. But, I don't think that this necessarily, I didn't, I'm not shocked, like Jeff said, by the outrage, because that's just what Twitter is. Twitter is there to be outraged by everything. But, this girl, if this is who she is,
a lot of
just play it.
I agree. A lot of professional female athletes wear makeup for games. And who cares? I mean, if they want to, great. If they don't want to, great. If this little girl is playing hockey and wants to put on makeup and look a certain way when she plays, great. And if USA Hockey wants to say, you go, you be you, and you do what you want to do, look good, feel good, play good, and I think a lot of people were saying, oh, well, what the USA Hockey said, look good, feel good, play good, meaning, oh, well, women that play hockey are supposed to look good when they play. And if that's the route they're going, it's absurd. It's a little girl who wants to wear makeup when she plays, and USA Hockey is just supporting that idea of her individually. I don't think they're making that a broad statement for all girls that they need to go out there, and when you play, you need to look good when you play. Who goes down that road? Why would you read that into that tweet? Look good, feel good, play good. That's a common, right? That's a common whimsical thing to say. Hey, look good, play good, look good, feel good, whatever. It's not. There's no. It's just weird. The people would. I don't know. Whatever.
I'll add that I mentioned the goalie on Instagram. She apparently plays for the Blue Water Hawks of the Provincial Women's Hockey League. Her name's Michaela DeMater, and she's from Chatham, Ontario. Now, I will say, if you look at her page, she does post some bikini pics and stuff. You know, it's Instagram. That's what a lot of people do. But, you know, there's some great females that post stuff like that all the time. I mean, I follow Madison and Anya Packer from the NWHL, and I don't think they've ever posted anything like that. But, I mean, they post pictures of them, like, with their kid and like, you know, going out on the rink with no helmet on. I mean, they're promoting women's hockey, and I feel like that's exactly what USA Hockey was doing with this tweet. They were promoting. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, how you want to look. Hockey literally is for everyone. So do what you want to do before you get on the rink.
You want to look good. You want to feel good. You want to play good. That's your call. You do you. And I think if it was at some kind of a photo shoot or a USA Hockey sanctioned event, they would have tagged that or mentioned that or something. It wasn't. Right. So that leads me to believe it was just sent to them or something. Our arch rival Chicago Blackhawks officially told their fans they need to buckle up for a rebuild. In short, they're going to suck for a while. So they released a memo to all Blackhawk fans saying goodbye to a pair of popular two-time champions and acquired some new players via trades and free agency. We understand how we understand it was tough to see those respective veterans go, and realize you may have some questions about our direction. We'd like to address that direction and share why we're hopeful for the future of Blackhawks hockey. And they just talk about basically going to a rebuild. And it's interesting that they put this out there for the fans as a method of transparency and being transparent with the fans of what they're doing and what their mindset is right now. But they didn't feel the need to share that information with Jonathan Toews before they went this direction, because he came out as really upset that they didn't discuss with him their future for the franchise and a rebuild. So it makes you wonder if he said publicly, I want to stay a Blackhawk, but those comments kind of make you wonder, oh, maybe he's going to want to leave and not be part of a rebuild. Him and Kane.
Yeah. And same thing with Kane. I mean, I know Kane hasn't said much, but you got to think that those two guys, I mean, they came in the NHL and it was turnaround time for Chicago, and they instantly turned that organization around, won 3 cups. All they knew was winning in Chicago until the Blues knocked them out of the playoffs, and it was, many years of disappointment. But it's crazy. This has been years in the making. I'm surprised this kind of thing wasn't done 2-3 years ago. I feel like they are way behind on their rebuild. That when they got swept out by Nashville, was it Nashville? Yeah, Nashville.
Yep.
The next year after the Blues beat them, and then they didn't make the playoffs. That was when they should have said, okay, rebuild time. Let's start doing what we can do. But they still kept signing free agents and still kept bringing in veterans and
bringing back Brandon Saad.
Yeah, that was, they were quoted in the press release or whatever it was. We want more than another window to win. We want to reach the summit and stay there. Good luck with that. To basically to win a cup and never stop winning cups. I get the idea, but to reach the summit of winning a cup and stay there. Okay, this coming from a team that traded away Panarin. So
yeah, right, to bring back Brandon Saad.
Right.
I
was glad he was out of the division, but that was a dumb thing for Chicago to do. Dumb.
Really. So a lot of questions, from me on this. how are you going to let Stan Bowman be the architect of the rebuild when he's the guy that ran the ship ashore? Right. This is just, it doesn't make sense. I think timing wise, I think they're, they probably feel like as an organization, they've got some goodwill built up with their little display of that they were pretty damn competitive in the playoffs. That they made by virtue of being the 12th seed, and that was where the cut line was. So they probably had, like I said, felt like they had a little bit of goodwill built up with the fan base and decided now's the time to announce the rebuild. How do you rebuild with two guys making $26 million or whatever the combined cap hit
21.
Is? 21.
They both make 10.5 each.
Yeah. I mean, Crow's gone, Sod's gone, but Duncan Keith, did Seabrook retire or? Hi, Jeff. You weren't
Sorry.
waving at me.
No, I was trying to fix.
You're
my
a little
camera.
blurry. Yeah, you're a little blurry.
Yeah.
But I was taking a look at Cat Friendly, but I don't know. It's suspect. It's such a weird, weird idea that you're going to rebuild with two generational talents, that are, you probably could move them. So maybe that happens in the next couple of years. They're still relevant enough and good enough. Definitely Kane. Sure, most teams in the league would try to find a way to land him, but I don't know.
When did Roenick leave Chicago? Was it when they were, because they struggled from the late 90s to the late O's, from like 97, 98.
97.
Because they went through a rebuild where they were terrible, and for 10 years they were bad.
Right, they made the playoffs.
That's also because they had.
Yeah,
They made the playoffs in what? 02-03. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't sweep them out. They won one game.
The Blackhawks went 01-02. The playoffs. That was their only.
Yeah, that's
year.
right. It was the Brent Johnson shutout streak.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Tyler Arneson and can't even remember the other people on the Hawks then that were supposed to be their the pieces they were rebuilding around.
Yeah, and so I mean, I guess shipping out players like Roenick. I'm not sure when Chelios left the Hawks. I'm drawing a blank, but they shipped out players.
Roenick was traded August 16th, 1996.
Okay.
Yeah.
So losing Roenick, losing Chelios. So they shipped out players that were, and they went into a rebuild or whatever, and it was 10 years. It was a bad.
Belfort.
They traded Chelios March 23rd, 1999.
Okay, so that was early on during their suckage. Which is now. I mean, they have that opportunity now to move Taze or Kane if they want. I guess if they'll, but they probably have no trade clause. I don't have Cap Friendly up, but they've done this in the past, and they had 10 years of bad hockey, and then they came out of that 10 years, and they won 3 cups in 6. So I assume that's what their game plan's going to be this time.
Belfort traded January 25th, 1997 to
Dallas. No. Where'd he go?
Come on. He was only there for 3 months? Then he signed in Dallas. San Jose.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Isn't that weird to remember Ed Belfour? I remember a hockey news cover because this was before the internet. So I remember looking and seeing a hockey news cover of him in a Sharks jersey, and I got it in the mail. And I remember I looked at my dad and I go, "Dad, what the hell is this?" And he was like, "What?" And I go, "Why is he wearing a Sharks jersey?" And he's like, "He was traded there like 2 weeks ago." And I'm like, "What?" Like, that's so weird. And then he went on to Dallas just a couple months later.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's odd.
Yeah. In the late 90s, the Hawks unloaded some iconic names in Chicago. So they've done it before. I would not be shocked if in the next year or two they move Taves or Kane. Because really, in 3 or 4 years, if 5 years, when they expect to be better, what's left on their contracts? They got a few years left on their contract. They're going to be done. So I guess I don't know. We'll see. 74-year-old Mike Doc Emerick retires. So he began his broadcasting career in 1973 when he became the radio play-by-play voice of the Port Huron Flags in the International Hockey League. He was named Doc after he'd earned a PhD in communications from Bowling Green University in 1976. He became the play-by-play voice of the Devils in 1982, where he spent a large chunk of his career. After 2011, he called national games for NBC Sports, CBS, ABC, TNT, ESPN, and Fox Sports, among others. Do you guys have a favorite Doc Emerick call? And where does he rank amongst the all-time great broadcasters for you?
So I think we can all agree on the favorite Doc Emerick call, right?
No.
He called the Blues winning the Stanley Cup.
I know, but that's not my favorite.
What's your favorite?
You can guess my favorite. Maybe you can't.
Mine, I think I like the remarkable save by Binnington.
That's good.
On Nordstrom. That, but
my goodness.
Well, that's a good tagline. Like that's
right.
a good, comeback. Is that your favorite? My goodness.
No. Well, my favorite actual game moment of his is Janney's overtime goal in Game 4 versus the Hawks.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah,
that was him.
Yeah, that was. I love that call, and for the longest time, because that for me, the longest time, that was my favorite Blues game ever. I was at that game. I recorded that game because I wanted to watch it later when I came home if they Blues had won, and they did. And so I watched the crap out of that game, and it's a fantastic call. And it's more, maybe it's more nostalgic for me too, because that was 93. And that was like in the heyday of my craziness of being a Blues fan. So
I'm going to watch that right now.
Yeah.
Another good one, non-Blues related, is actually just this past, whenever quarantine was, I guess that was like April-ish. NHL Network replayed Martin Brodor's record-breaking win that gives him the win record for regular season. And obviously Doc Emerick was on that call because that was a Devils game. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but I mean, it was clear he kind of had an idea of what he was going to say after the win. And he had a great speech afterward about how great Martin Brodeur is. So that's got to be up there. And honestly, like, you put this in our notes, Kurt, what do you have a favorite Doc Emerick call? My answer, honestly, is no. I mean, yes, the Stanley Cup call is something, but, it's just that I'm going to miss the Doc Emerickisms. I'm going to miss the knifed, the catawampus,
waffle boarded,
waffle boarded. I mean, all the crazy shit that we heard when he called games, and
fed one in front.
He was a human thesaurus, and he just would get so excited. Oh!
Shot it off the post!
Yeah. I mean, just some of the stuff he did was just some of the best calls I've heard. And you asked among the all-time greats. I mean, from what I've heard, he is probably my favorite hockey announcer of all time. I mean, you got to take into consideration my age. I didn't hear a lot of Dan Kelly. But I mean, he's up there for me. I mean, he's got to be top 5 in my opinion.
Yeah. And if you saw, John Kelly said Emerick's on his Mount Rushmore, next to his dad and Foster Hewitt and, forget who the other was. But yeah, that's some high praise coming from the son of arguably the greatest hockey play-by-play caller of all time.
You know who I liked a lot? Gary Thorne. I liked him doing hockey games.
Yes.
I thought Gary Thorne was fantastic on ESPN back when they had games. I liked him.
Great at calling games, but terrible at getting players right. That was my biggest beef with Gary Thorne. Pavel Demitra could score a goal and he'd say it was Craig Janney or Craig Conroy.
I don't call that.
Like, different numbers, different shot. Dimitra's a lefty, Conroy's a righty. Yeah.
Who did Gary Thorne? He did call play-by-play for a team. Who was that? Which team was it?
Well, he did it for. I mean, he's doing it now, right? For baseball, isn't he doing the Orioles?
Right, the Baltimore Orioles.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting that. Maybe I'm getting confused. I thought he did an NHL team for a while.
I don't remember if he did or not. I know, he was awesome with Bill Clement when they were partnered together on ESPN.
I enjoyed
Hard
that
to beat that. That him calling that the Rangers 94 Game 7. That it's one of my I can watch that game at any point. I didn't have much of a rooting interest, but man, he got me excited about those Rangers. And I can watch that game at any point. I will sit down and watch that.
Were we
talk about Gary
game...
Thorne? How about hold on.
Where were you were at Oak Hill with me? Speaking of the Rangers, Bill, right? Watching game 7 against the Canucks. It was after one of our games, I think, because we were up in the lobby. Some of the team was up in the lobby, and I was one of them. We were at the bar watching Game 7 and watched them win the cup there. I thought you were there. Maybe not.
Yeah, I probably was. Okay. I have a VHS of that game out in the garage that I've probably, I don't know, it's probably worthless at this point because I've watched it so many times.
Give it to me and I'll upload it.
Yeah, we will be cleaning out the garage soon, and I'll have a bunch of gems for you.
Nice, awesome. No, I was gonna say, talking about Gary Thorne. My favorite call from him, one of my favorite hockey calls of all time, is after 22 years, Raymond Bourque.
Yeah.
That's just the way he did that was just perfect.
Do you know what rubs me wrong about Bourque winning the cup that year, though? I was a Bourque fan, but what rubbed me wrong was that was the year the Avalanche beat the Blues in the conference final, and that. So and the way I operate, I'm always bitter against the team that knocks the Blues out, and I can't root for them. So I was kind of torn. I wanted to see Bourque win, but I really didn't want to see Colorado win.
I didn't want to see him win because, I mean, one, I hated Boston, so I didn't want to see any kind of celebration from Boston whatsoever. And two, I thought Raymond Bourque got away with murder in those playoffs because he was getting beat left and right because he's an older man at that point. And, he was hooking, slashing, and referees just let him get away with everything because he was Ray Bourque and he was going after the cup. So that was one year where I was like, I rooted for him up until that point. But when I saw him lift the cup, it was a completely different situation because it was nice to see a guy actually be able to go out on top.
I think I think Patrick Waugh almost single-handedly beat the Blues in that series. He was amazing. That was some of the best goaltending I've seen the Blues face in the playoffs was that series against Patrick Waugh. And some of the most inconsistent and frustrating goaltending I've seen was Turek in that series.
He was lights out against Dallas.
Yeah.
So lights out.
Yeah. He had an axe to grind against Dallas, but yeah, the moment I knew we were losing that series was Sakic scoring the penalty shot goal in Game 2, was it?
Game 1?
Yeah, it might have been Game 1. I was watching from a hotel room in New Orleans, and I knew at that point, we don't have the talent.
And he also badly misplayed a puck. I want to say he tried to cover it and didn't or something, and I don't know, and it was a rebound. It was a bad goal against. It was a series of those kinds of things just went against him in that playoffs.
Bill, do you remember why Sakic had that penalty shot?
McInnes hooking him on a breakaway?
No. Roman Turek threw his stick.
Oh, that's right.
And he said after the game, they interviewed him and they said, "Why did you throw your stick?" And he said, "I didn't know I couldn't throw my stick."
Oh, is that right?
And it was like, what? How do you not know that?
I've known that forever.
Yeah.
I don't play goal.
Oh, I remember when I read that, I instantly just said, bench him. I don't care. Brent Johnson sucks, but what? At least he's an intelligent man. Put him in net.
Well, didn't Johnson
I was
play
so
Game
mad.
7? Or
Like Game
6?
5. Game 5.
I thought he played the last game of the series. Game 6.
That was Game 5.
No, it was 4 games to 2. Wasn't it?
No, that was 4-1.
Oh, you're right.
They only
Yes.
won Game 3.
That's right.
In
You're right.
like
That's
double
right.
overtime.
That's right. Like 3 games went overtime, something like that. I think 3 out of the 5.
Something like that.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was. I thought the series was a lot
They
closer.
lost like 20 seconds into the overtime because of Pierre Turgeon got a penalty leading into that overtime. He tripped Adam's foot because he got pissed at him. I remember way too much about that series because I've said this before. That was the year I was like, this team is going to actually win the cup. And when they didn't win, that was when I was like, this team is never going to win the cup. And I never believed they would.
I remember that series kind of vividly just because I was moving into a new house during that series. And so we had boxes and stuff out, and I had a TV set up, a small TV in the living room on boxes that I was watching the game, like on the floor, a couple of those games.
Richard Lemons in the Facebook chat says, did I miss you guys talk about Neighbors? No, we are really taking our time getting through
Yeah, we are.
NHL tidbits because there's not a lot of Blues news to talk about, so we figure we'll spend more time on this kind of stuff. We will get to Neighbors, so stay tuned.
In a few minutes here. Joe Thornton signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs, so he's out of the Western Conference, ending a 15-year career in San Jose after playing 8 years in Boston. Whew. I mean, a 15-year career for any player is long, and then for him to that was after 8 years in Boston. An 8-year career for a lot of players is long, and he played 8 in Boston and 15 in San Jose. And he's going to play in Toronto probably one more year, right? I guess
it has to be, right?
He's quoted as saying, "I need to win a Stanley Cup." Thornton said during a video call on Sunday morning via TSN, and I think this is a great team that can do that. I mean, yeah, I mean, the Leafs are trying, but it's funny because the Leafs are synonymous with postseason failure and disappointment.
Did you see the funny fake quote that was going around? That's a kind of a new thing for anyone who maybe not familiar with all social media.
Yeah,
is like when a player does something, there's like a fake quote that starts going around of something they said. And one of my favorites was it was this past one with Joe Thornton, and it said, "Come on, I'm 42 years old. I can't play past the first round."
Yeah, Joe Thornton probably.
Yeah, Joe Thornton probably.
I can't be expected to play past the first round.
You know what? I'm all for it. I mean, if you are having people willing to give you money to play hockey well into your 40s, good for you, man. Keep going. But it's just, for me, he is. I mean, we said this when they played the Blues in 16 when they went to the third round. We were like, man, Joe Thornton looks slow. And they played him again in 2019. And we were like, holy shit, that dude's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And now you're expecting him to play with one of the fastest teams in the NHL. I get it. I mean, again, if he's still got it and they think he can provide something, then all for it. Sign the guy. But I mean, does he really help the Maple Leafs that much? Even on a fourth line? Did
you see the picture of him after he shaved his beard?
Yes.
He shaved it during the coronavirus, the quarantine, during the pause. He looked 20 years younger after shaving his beard.
Yeah.
It was insane. He looks 70 with his beard. He looks really old.
He does. How many homeless people did they find when he shaved it off?
Oh my God. I mean, I guess, I mean, if you like the beard, you like the beard, but man, it's an epic beard as far as NHL goes, but man, if you're trying, I mean, I guess he doesn't care about looking younger, which is fine, but he looks substantially younger when he shaves his beard. There's plenty of time and you don't have to look old. When you're old, you might as well look young when you can. I don't know.
Yeah, like me. I think, still look like I'm 17, right?
Sure. Yeah.
You do definitely today, Kurt.
Thank you. Yes. 1985.
That's right.
I was just going to say on the Thornton thing real quick. To me, it feels like, a lot of the the Canadian media who kind of had their heyday during Thornton's very long career are super happy to see him coming home. I know it seems like Pierre LeBrun has always been a big fan of Thornton, and I'm sure he's excited to see this happening. And Don Cherry's super excited that good Ontario boy coming home. So maybe it's a fitting end to his career for him to feel that playoff disappointment in the center of the hockey universe that feels playoff disappointment.
What would be really awesome though to be 100%, and this is coming from the Joe Thornton fan of the panel. If they do end up playing Boston again this year, and they go to Game 7 overtime, and Joe Thornton scores the game winner against Boston, that would be fantastic. I'd love to see it.
That would be amazing.
I doubt he gets any. I doubt he gets any time in overtime in a Game 7.
Right, unless it's like the seventh overtime and everybody else is dead.
Joe, you haven't played in 6 overtimes. We're going to stick you out there.
I'm trying to think of any player that I wouldn't want to score on Boston in overtime in Game 7 in the playoffs. Like there are a number of players I dislike in the NHL, but I'm trying to think of a player I would not want. Like, okay, I'd root for Boston instead of this player scoring on them in overtime in Game 7.
Patrick Kane.
I don't know.
It depends on if he's still with the Blackhawks. If he's still with the Blackhawks, then yes, I agree.
Yeah,
if he's traded somewhere else,
he's one of the few.
I would probably still be like, go ahead, Kane. Oh, you're talking to a Jamie Benn fan here.
Look at you, liking Thornton, liking Ben. You like all the guys the Blues fans hate.
I liked Thornton until the Piranha incident. Yeah, that was the end of it for me. That was so just to almost ruin a guy's life forever with a dirty, cheap chicken shit hit. I obviously haven't gotten over it.
And you know what though?
You must hate Dale Hunter.
It's not even so much. Oh God, it's not even so much the hit. It's the hit, okay, but it's the denial afterwards and saying that Prom was faking it, and that whole deniability. He wouldn't take ownership of it at all, and he was accusing Prom of faking for a year. I mean, come on. That combined with the hit was that made me hate the man.
I will again say I'm not going to argue the hit because a year before that was a legal hit. So I know that you can disagree all you want, but it's true. He wouldn't have even been talked about his suspension a year before that.
Yeah, but
the denial afterward,
but
that was bullshit. I agree with you.
But it was illegal at the time he made it, so he knew it. He knew that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the rules had just changed before that hit, so players were still adapting.
Yeah, he still hit him in the head. even before the rule change, hitting a player in the head. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna. If you didn't lead with your elbow, it was fine to hit a player in the head. But still, that's if you're targeting people's heads. You're still.
So are you saying you do not like Scott Stevens?
I knew you were going to bring it up.
Saying?
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm saying that he was vicious on the ice and didn't care.
This could be predatory.
Yeah, and he didn't care if he was hitting a guy's head. And you have to know. I mean, whether you're allowed to or not, you hit a player in the head. That's dangerous. Even though. If you didn't leave with your elbow, that was the thing that was always said by announcers too. Whenever somebody got hit in the head, let's see, his elbow was down, clean hit. Doesn't matter if he hit him, if he tried to hit him in the head with the shoulder, or the side, or whatever. It didn't matter, but because it was a clean hit, which is knowing what we know now was just such a stupid way to approach things. But we didn't know any better. So, but still, I think, but like you said, Bill, it legal or not, and you can still label as predatory. Which Stevens was. I mean, that's why he was. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. He's known for predatory hits. Which I wonder how Stevens would fare today. Still a great player, I'm sure, but you take away his huge hits like that, and many of which were to the head. You got to wonder how he would be. Would he be a Hall of Famer today with the new rules?
That's a good topic for another show.
It really is. Let's move on. Autumn is in the air, and Manscaped is here to ensure you don't carve your pumpkins while grooming. And by pumpkins, we actually mean your boys downstairs. In fact, Manscaped is on a mission to change the way you approach caring for your balls. And great news, they just released their products in the UK, Canada, and Australia. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Make your balls a priority this fall. Sorry for the kung fu lip syncing there to that promo.
Again, if you're not podcasting, you're missing so much hilarity here. Or if you are podcasting,
Kung
you're
Fu
missing
theater.
the live stuff.
Yeah, Kung Fu theater. So Manscaped is no secret that we've been talking about Manscaped a lot on the show the past few weeks. They're the new sponsor for the show. Fantastic sponsor. Please check them out. Manscaped.com and use the promo code LGB for free shipping and 20% off your order. Some of their products are, they've got a new Weed Whacker, which is an ear and nose hair trimmer. It uses skin safe technology. And that's in addition to their Lawnmower 3.0, which I think is their best-selling device. I'm making that up. I'm sure it is. Which is their trimmer and offers a replaceable ceramic blade with advanced skin-safe technology, which helps reduce grooming accidents. And when you're shaving below the belt, you definitely want to reduce accidents. And they have stuff like the Crop Preserver, which is ball deodorant. It's called the Crop Care Kit. They have a Crop Cleanser, which is body wash, a full body wash that you can use in your hair, on your body. Ball wipes. They have some ball wipes. You never know when an opportunity strikes, so you should always be prepared with some ball wipes, which I have not used their ball wipes. I've used other products of theirs. I've not used those. Have you guys used the ball wipes?
No, Bill, go ahead and answer. I'm guessing you haven't. When I was over last night, and I didn't see him on your nightstand, so I figured it was okay just to assume you didn't. But I just wanted to add that they sent us some underwear and a T-shirt, and I saw somebody tweet this actually. Somebody that doesn't even follow our show. Somebody tweet to Manscaped recently that the underwear is the most comfortable underwear they've ever owned, and I 100% agree with that. I only wear the boxer briefs. I only wear, especially when I play hockey. It's the most comfortable thing. It's stops the chafing and all that. I don't know what they're using, and it probably says it on the tag, but I don't know what they're using in their boxer briefs that I'm not getting in my other boxer briefs. But they are the most comfortable pair of underwear I've ever put on. And again, we say this all the time, that we're not just saying this because they're our sponsor. We're allowing them to be our sponsor because we believe in their product. And that is exactly how I feel about that underwear. It is the most comfortable pair of underwear, whether you play hockey or not. It's something that hugs your body in a way that is so comfortable. And it just makes you feel so good when you have them on.
It hugs your body like few others do.
True.
Now, I said this a couple weeks ago that the boxers and how comfortable they were. Whatever, you get boxer briefs, you get them, cool. You put them on, you're like, oh, yeah, you can tell the difference between a good pair and they ain't Hanes. No, they're I don't know what's in them and what they do to make them that comfortable. They are. I mean, if you don't believe us, they got packages on their site with shirt, boxers, and some other products. Which makes a great Christmas gift, or hell, treat yourself. But you just try them. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You can only say how
you said that wrong.
You can
treat yourself.
Treat yourself. You can only convey to a certain degree how comfortable something is on the air, but until you try it. Believe us. Believe you me. And all
there's a time that we probably would have had a Manscaped Boxers episode. Where the three of us just did that, but I don't know. I feel like that's been done kind of before.
I will gladly do that next week.
And you know what?
I'll do it next week.
I'll say this about, and even something as maybe insignificant is the packaging is a high quality package.
Yeah.
So to open that up real quick, Kurt. There's instructions that are just, I mean, dummy proof right there.
Well,
no, I was going to say it's on the box, right?
Oh,
Like you opened it up, it's on the inside flap, I think.
nope. Wait,
No, I am wrong.
No.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
One page insert. Yeah.
You're right. It's a flap. Yeah, there you go. I'll hold it up to the camera.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy because you get this kind of thing and you think, okay, what do I do to make sure I don't nick myself up? Whether it's, down below or your chest or whatever, you don't want to deal with that. And so the dummy proof instructions are so great because they just tell you, step 1, do this. Step 2, shave this way. Step 3, do this, and you're done. I mean, it's Kurt's holding it up there in the video.
The race.
Slow and steady wins the race is what it says.
Yeah, it's like 8 words in instructions, and it's perfect.
It's hieroglyphics. There's a charge shaver. Step 2. It's got a do this, don't do that, and then 4 is basically enjoy. So that was it's. I mean, it's you're a guy. We all use shavers. I mean, electric shavers at some point. So it's a good quality product. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So again,
Kurt, real quick, your brother in the chat says, I see a gift basket family exchange for Christmas. I think that's a wonderful idea, Keith Price.
Well, we got to get that. We got to get that going. We do basket exchanges with the families and whatnot at Christmas every so often in Christmas. So maybe that's a thing. Make it happen, Keith. Tired of being the organizer in this family.
I want to know how
I
want to know how this basket exchange works. Like, do the women folk get to pick, or is it random,
sure.
or is it like a steal, rob your neighbor kind of thing?
We've done it varies. We've done rob your neighbor. We've done like a Secret Santa kind of thing. We've done and I'm sure that the wives in the family pick out the basket. I'm sure.
I was just saying, I think it would be hilarious if one of your sisters-in-law saw that and like, yep, we need this. that would make Christmas, I think.
Kylo Rat says it's in the YouTube chat says a stocking stuffer for your stocking stuffer.
Nice, Kylo. Do you work for Manscaped?
That's a beauty of a comment.
There's your comment of the show right there.
That's
nice work, Kylo.
If we had an official comment on the show, which we kind of did for a while, didn't we? That would be it. I think the show.
If anybody would like to sponsor comment of the show, email us at radio.letsgoblues.com.
Again, 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com with code LGB. Christmas is coming up. Treat somebody else, treat yourself. Your balls will thank you, or someone else's balls.
And
will
remember,
thank you.
And remember the promo code up there, LGB, 20% off, free shipping when you use that code at checkout. So don't miss that out. That's very important. Helps us as well, as we've said before.
Right. Yeah. We made it simple, right? We didn't go with a long promo code. It's super simple. If you consume this podcast, those letters. Just pop it in the promo code box.
If you're a Blues fan, LGB. Let's go Blues. So make your balls a priority this fall. The Blues signed their first round pick, Jake Neighbors, to a 3-year entry level deal. 18-year-old left winger, played the last 3 seasons with the Edmonton Oil Kings of the Western Hockey League. Last season, Neighbors posted 23 goals, 47 assists, 70 points in 64 games. Overall, he has registered 98 points, 34 goals, 64 assists in 122 career WHL games.
Kurt, I am pissed. This was a terrible pick. I know because it wasn't the pick I wanted. So clearly, this was a terrible pick. So they shouldn't have signed him at all. Just let him go.
So you're telling me, and I agree with you, you're telling me that you, sitting in your basement, you literally sitting in your basement, know more about these prospects and how good they're going to be at 18 years old, 19 years old, some of these guys. You know more than these professional scouts that travel to watch these players play, talk to coaches, talk to parents, and have binders full of notes on these prospects. So you're telling me that you, with the internet at your disposal, know what the Blues should have done with their
Kurt,
picks.
my 8 minutes of video watching tells me that, and then just prospect reports from third-hand knowledge.
Sure.
It tells me that there's no way Bill Armstrong, if he were still here, he would have made that pick. He would not have made that pick, right?
Well, but you would be interested to know that the Blues drafting philosophy in this draft was set up by Bill Armstrong before he left.
No.
Because the draft. Oh
No.
yes, the draft was
No.
supposed to take place while he was still here, and then it was pushed back. The Blues already had their drafting philosophy down on paper and stone. It was Bill Armstrong's. So actually, Bill Armstrong drafting for Arizona knew kind of what the direction they were going.
But he wasn't allowed.
You're
He
wrong.
wasn't allowed to be part of the Arizona contingent.
You don't think he talked to anybody?
I'm sure he did, but not officially.
You know what?
Right.
You know what? I honestly believe in. By the way, everything I just did was theater. That was
Tongue
showmanship.
in cheek, if you will.
Yeah. No, I honestly believe he didn't. I think there's I mean, listen, I'm gonna
Honor amongst thieves.
I guess this is name dropping. I don't know. I've talked to Bill Armstrong. He seems like a very, very good professional, and everything I've heard from him or about him from Doug Armstrong and others in the organization. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there was a couple beers had, and it was, guys, this dude I was watching, he's pretty good. But outside of that, I think he really did kind of keep it under his cuff and said, guys, I can't be involved. I don't want to have any kind of weird, I don't know if tampering is the right word, but like weird charges against me brought on by my former employer. Because you got to think about it. If he's fired by Arizona, which, GMs are hired to be fired, he might be looking to his contacts in St. Louis in 5-6 years saying, hey, any openings? Anything you can get me over there in St. Louis? So he's not wanting to burn bridges. So I believe he really didn't have anything to say to Arizona.
Austin Poganski and Mitch Reinke both agree to 1 year, two-way contracts. Poganski is a right winger, 24 years old, drafted by the Blues in the fourth round, number 110 overall in the 2014 NHL draft. He spent the last two seasons with the AHL's San Antonio Rampage, and last season he posted 10 goals, 20 assists in 56 games. Reinke, defenseman, 24, has played the last two seasons with the Rampage as well. Last season, the defenseman recorded 5 goals and 17 assists, 22 points in 46 games. So the Blues shoring up some depth in the organization.
Real quick, I just want to add, Kylo Rat adds, talking about our last pick, Jake Neighbors. He's an ex-Tie Ratty. Trade him. It's a joke, obviously. And Richard Lemons over at the Facebook chat says, the kid looks good. Looks like he might be a pest. Great vision. So let's hope Richard is correct. Keith Price says, I know Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy is a friend of mine.
You, sir, are no Jack Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so on these picks, I just want to add, or on these signings, they were two of the guys that were qualified back when you had to qualify your RFAs.
Some people got outraged, by the way, about that.
Which
spending money on
ridiculous.
Players, people,
Yeah.
and those are the social media types that like, oh, just stop it, be quiet. Just
Yep.
The adults are talking.
Yeah, right. And Poganski, he had a little cup of coffee here with the Blues. I think we'll see him again this year. He's a guy who can step in as your fourth line, and then Mitch Reinke, another guy who kind of probably is a hopeful for the AHL, maybe a future captain there for the Springfield Thunderbirds. Maybe his peak, he does make it to the NHL at some point, but I think he's kind of been lost in the shuffle here with how many prospects the Blues have on D. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. Again, you're shoring up your AHL roster. You have plenty of guys who are getting plenty of AHL experience that you can call up in case of an injury. So, if fourth line guy gets hurt, Kyle Clifford, somebody gets hurt, you call up Austin Poganski. You need a defensive defenseman called up because there was an injury to Carl Gunnarsson. Mitch Reinke is available. You have these guys available, and you'll be able to pass them back and forth between the NHL and the AHL. For those of you who may not understand how these things work, these are really good depth signings for the Blues. They've proven to be nothing but loyal to the organization and guys that can step in when you need them.
Two-way contracts mean that a player makes a different salary playing for a minor league team than they do playing for their respective NHL team. So one-way contract would mean they make the same salary both places. So if you didn't know that.
And I'll add too, for anybody who is interested, again, going to promote ourselves, the past to the future episodes. We did have episodes talking about Austin Poganski and Mitch Reinke. If you'd like to know more about them, check out past episodes of Let's Go Blues Radio over at Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your shows. We do talk about both those players in separate episodes, so make sure you check that out.
So the reverse retro jerseys are rumored, nothing official yet, but they're rumored to be a thing next season. So some images were leaked. What's a reverse retro jersey, you say? Think 80s or 90s throwbacks, but with some of the colors reversed, flip-flopped. So, which is, I just heard about this today. And while I can see where it would look good on some jerseys, others probably not so much. The Aesthetics account, which is a believable account when it comes to rumored jerseys and things, they said, I only report on actual game jerseys, not fan fashion jersey lines. And yes, I am told all teams will be wearing them. So that they're apparently going to have a thing, going to be a thing next season. So someone in Indonesia put a couple of reverse retro replicas on eBay. The ones posted were Flyers and Penguins. Indonesia is where the jerseys are manufactured. So someone thinks that they got their hands on a couple, put them on eBay, and so they were
fell off a truck.
And they are indeed reversed. The Flyers, orange and black, the black shoulders and down the arm, and then the orange body. And the Pittsburgh Penguins diagonal, where it says Pittsburgh, back from the was it 90s, late 90s,
right?
The Pittsburgh, the diagonal Pittsburgh, kind of like where it says like similar to the diagonal Rangers, I guess. It's a white jersey with the because the Pittsburgh wore the black jersey with the Pittsburgh going down. This is the white jersey. So, so Game Time wrote an article about this and suggested that a suggestion for a Blues reverse retro would be the away clown jersey with a darker blue field above the yellow lines and that above that stupid sea of red. And they admittedly called it worse than the actual clown jerseys, and asked for suggestions on what fans would like instead. So I got a picture of this to in the notes, guys. But and if you want to see a picture, go to Game Time, stlouisgametime.com. They have an article about it. But yeah, I mean, this looks a lot like that black clown jersey that was in stores that they didn't wear.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought when I saw it. That's what it was. But
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not black.
That's exactly what it was.
It's dark blue.
Yeah.
So I don't like this as a third. I don't like this as a retro reverse. They just did this style last year for a few games. I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, I will say that I applaud the NHL. We talked about this, I think last show actually, that I applaud the NHL and like just release as many freaking jerseys as possible. People are going to buy them. It's a cash grab for the NHL. Just do it. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I know that if the Blues had a great design they came out with, like the Winter Classic, I'm going to jump out and buy it. I love it. I think it's great. But I'm with Kurt in the sense that you did this already, and again, now maybe this is all just speculation with the clown jersey. And let's give some credit where credit's due. It was also Hildy Mack, one of our favorite people over at St. Louis Game Time, that she posted that article. And that's and I'll say, you guys probably won't agree, I actually liked those black ones when I was a kid. I always said, why don't they wear those on the ice? I think those would look better than the blue and the white ones. But having said that, like Kurt just said, we saw this last year. Let's do if you're going to do, and by the way, just as an English major, reverse retro, that means current. So let's call it something else. That's ridiculous.
But you understand what they're talking about. They're reversing the colors.
Get it.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a silly name to me. But
like a double negative.
Anyway, it's a double negative, basically. But no, I would love to see, like, if you had maybe like the ones with the blues across the hest, the terrible Harry Arnett jerseys, you did something with those. If you did something with the, I don't know, maybe like the third jerseys from a couple of years ago with the arch in the background, you made those white instead. That would be interesting.
Do you know what I wouldn't mind seeing? Well, the blues arched over the top, some kind of reverse with that would be interesting. I'm all for the ones before the clowns, with the simple and do something reverse with those. Now I'm scared that they're gonna go reverse retro and go with a yellow jersey, and like blue stripes. That's what I'm scared about, because they could screw that up.
Yeah, I mean, we bitched at length last week about yellow based jerseys and how awful they generally come off.
Yep.
That's my nightmare.
What else? If the Blues go reverse retro, they're gonna go with a yellow jersey, aren't they? I mean, they can have. What else can they do?
I think Jeff's idea, the dark navy third jersey that they had, you go a white version of that, it works. Because those were,
I think that'd be great.
Yeah. I guess
those would be beautiful. I would love those.
Okay. Or a white Winter Classic style.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like they wore in the alumni game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Although one could
Don't do yellow.
Yeah, I would not like to see yellow.
Has there ever been a good yellow jersey in all sports? Can you think of any?
Brazil.
I don't want to go with countries.
Soccer.
Countries is different.
Brazil's soccer, yellow and green.
Yeah, but that's their flag. I think that's a little different. I'm talking about just like maybe pro sports.
I've never thought that. I always thought Brazil looked good. Maybe yellow doesn't work in hockey jerseys. It doesn't work on the ice.
Yeah, I still think it works.
I think it's the sport.
Yeah,
no, Borussia Dortmund.
Lakers. Teal Town USA says Lakers. Okay, Lakers ones aren't bad.
Yeah,
right.
Lakers pull it off. Borussia Dortmund,
Green Bay,
Bundesliga, they pull it off.
Green Bay's yellow and brown throwbacks. Those are sweet.
Oh, those are beautiful.
I
love those.
Granted, it depends. Maybe Teal Town. I'm sure that's Eric, right? So he's a designer. So he's got the designer mindset. So. Maybe it's the color you pair with the yellow that makes the difference.
Somebody's here. Actually, Keith Price says Sweden, 100%. Again, we're talking about countries. Sweden's jerseys are beautiful. The blue, the yellow. That's true. But
it's a more of a brighter blue too, though, because like Nashville is a darker blue, and like maybe it's the color that complements it. That it's not as complementary as others. Makes the yellow look worse.
Teal Town says it's AJ tonight.
AJ. Well, what do you know
What's
about
up,
design?
AJ? It's been a while, buddy. How you been? Oh, yeah. Keith Price says the LA Kings. In terms of like looking back, I love those jerseys, but I think at the time I would have hated them.
We've talked about this. I never liked the purple and yellow Kings jerseys.
I did.
Hey,
I never did.
My first 2 years at CBC, those were our jerseys.
What weren't you?
I have an affinity for them.
All right.
What about the?
Were you more? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
It was purple.
What about
and gold.
the? What about the yellow and the Pittsburgh Pirates jerseys? The more gold color.
Yellow and black, gold and black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those stovepipe hats that they had.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I honestly think it depends what color goes with it. That could it makes the yellow either look good or not. It's a complementary
I think it's
issue.
got to be black, right? It's
black or a bright blue, like Sweden.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Maybe. I think black and yellow. Boston. Boston's had yellow jerseys. I don't think they looked that bad. I mean, the color anyway, with the black.
Keith Price says retro reverse LA Kings purple with yellow. I am all for it. I'd love to see it. You probably can't see. Let me tilt my camera up here. I got this. Wrong way. I got that reversed. beautiful set of gloves up there, the old King style, and I love those things.
I've got a black and yellow pair of hockey gloves. You got the purple and yellow. I got the black and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes.
AJ says, think of a previous alternate jersey and then invert the prime colors. That seems to be the move.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's probably what they'll do. So I'm thinking it probably will be a yellow jersey, unfortunately.
Or white.
Or red. Or
the Blues, the
90s
Blues
jerseys.
The Blues circle logo, like was brought up earlier, would be a white version of that. I would.
Yeah.
Because
I would love that.
Because Pittsburgh's doing that. Pittsburgh's going, theirs is, if you believe the leaked images, theirs is going to be white. So I would really like the Blues to do white, but I fear, because you know what, their third with the circle arch logo, that was a dark navy jersey. The Winter Classic, that was a blue jersey. The 90s throwbacks last year, that was the dark jersey. They haven't done a white one. They do a white one. Do the white version of the circle crest. I'd be for that completely, because I think that you wouldn't screw it up. There are a lot of people that hate that jersey. You know that?
Really?
Oh, I know.
I mean, now when it was used early on, it was widely thought of as one of the better third jerseys. But I think maybe we used it too long and fans kind of got tired of it. I think that's probably where it went. We used it for a long time.
Right, and it was also during the shit era of the team.
That's true. Bad memories.
Well, and Tom Stillman even said when he took over, reports are that he said get rid of those jerseys because he wanted basically a whole new mindset in the organization when he took over. So he didn't want anything left over from the Checkits era. I said, damn it, stupid Let's Go Blues forums.
The area. Wow.
Yep, that is a Let's Go Blues forum Freudian slip there.
That rarely have I heard someone utter that phrase on accident.
Yeah.
It's always been to mock someone else that used it. That's funny.
That's what you get for checking out those damn forums all the time.
Keith Price says, I'm not a fan of the Circle Blues jersey. So there you go. He's one of them. Not a fan of the arch design. It's funny. We talked about this. The arch is hard to make look good in a design. You see the arch around St. Louis and different logos all over the place, and more times than not, it's like, that was forced. It looks like clip art. It just doesn't. If you need to redesign the arch and make it more put more of a design feel on it, and change the look of it to make it look kind of cool. Just slapping an arch and a logo kind of looks. It's been. I think maybe because it's overdone in St. Louis. Everybody uses an arch logo in their business, or half people do. I mean, that's why.
You know what? It's funny to me. Just I love hockey fans, and especially fans of this show. I guess how we have talked hockey throughout the show, but we are getting the most comments talking about jerseys. It's weird how that works, huh?
Hockey fans and jersey. It's not. I don't think any of the sport has the passion about jersey designs like hockey fans do. You don't see it as much in baseball or football. Football, fuck, they change the jerseys every other week. It seems like, but
NBA's doing that too.
NBA too. Yeah, I mean, I think hockey jerseys are kind of iconic as far as the design and how people feel about the jerseys and the era and stuff like that. Maybe other sports do too, but to some degree, but not like hockey fans do.
Jesse Hill says they're sweaters. So
sweaters,
yeah, he's right.
Yes, they are sweaters.
Makes it different. They are sweaters.
Okay, hold on. technically they're not. They used to be. If you want to go vintage, yes, I understand. I get it completely. Call them sweaters to be old school. I get it. I like it. But they're not sweater material anymore. They're jerseys. Material.
Yep.
Letterkenny, Season 3, Episode 5, The Battle for Bonnie McMurray.
Yeah.
You should call them sweaters. Sweaters don't go on the floor.
Steel Town, USA. How many damn jerseys do the Diamondbacks have? Yeah, they've got a shit ton. I think I mentioned that last week, actually.
Yeah, and
they've
we're
got
not
like 5 or 6.
And you like that? And I'm fine. I don't care. You say you like throw as many jerseys out there as possible.
I just think it's because, like, why not? You're going to make money off it. People are going to buy it if you want to make money for your organization. I guess maybe I'm thinking from a marketing standpoint because that's where my career is at. Just do it. Make some money off it. Why not? And also, we'll give Teal Town USA some love here. Again, our favorite Sharks podcast over here at Let's Go Blues Radio. He says, if you're interested, we posted Sharks mock-ups of retro reverse Sharks concepts on our Twitter and website. I'm not the biggest fan of all of them, says AJ. I did see those, AJ, and they are interesting.
Yeah, it's funny. The graphics, and me being a graphics guy, the graphics that come out of the Teal Town production, their logos, their on-screen graphics, their promos, their ads, top-notch stuff. And I correct me if I'm wrong, I think Eric does most of that. Other guys I've just known that Eric does some of it, so maybe he does all of it. I don't know. But really good looking stuff you guys do. Like it.
If Teal Town USA would like to sponsor Let's Go Blues Radio, you can email us at radio@letsgoblues.com.
That's crazy. I guess my question for AJ, I'm looking at the site right now, and the mock-up that they put up. It's interesting design, but I'm wondering if what makes it retro for them is that it's got a Thornton on the back. I mean, he's so old that you just put his name on the back and it's automatically retro? Is that how that works?
Yeah, he was the first captain on the California Golden Seals, right?
He was a captain on the Montreal Maroons.
Yeah, right.
Back in 1917. Keith Price says, Christmas 91, I got a Sharks jersey. I remember that. He also had a Brian Hayward Jaws mask on his wall.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a
Poster.
retro Sharks jersey. The black one. I've got the black one from those years. Those are I used to play street hockey in it all the time.
Yeah, my first men's league hockey team that I played for at Cahokia was Sharks, and we used those early teal jerseys. I think Jeff wound up with that jersey. Not Jeff Ponder, but Jeff Price wound up with that jersey in his closet. I don't have it anymore. But
better Jeff.
I always liked it. I always loved that color on the ice.
Oh. No Urbe mask, Bill, says Jesse Hill.
God, that such an odd combo. The Jova with the really high set cage. I was thinking about that earlier. Just never could get behind that. I don't think I would ever be comfortable wearing something like that. And I think Glenn Hanlon was probably the first guy. Glenn Hanlon and Bob Sauvé were the first guys that I ever saw wear that setup. It was more the Tommy Soderstrom big bubble Jofa helmet myself.
All right, so I got a question. What's older? Arturs Urbe's legs pads or Joe Thornton?
Oh, man.
I think they were both born at the dawn of the
Age of Aquarius?
1900s, right?
Yeah. That's circa 1974, right?
Yep.
I'm trying to find the some audio clips here, but I can't really find them. So, Teal Town USA, you'll have to DS some retro reverse ideas for the Blues, and we'll put some mock-ups together for you. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll do that if I can find some time here in the next couple days. Well, hell, we got a few months yet before the season starts. So,
well, guys, I think we need to mention TL10 USA's latest comment. To be fair, Thornton's knees are only a couple years old now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, most 70-year-olds get their knees replaced, So that's about right.
Anything else, guys?
I think that'll do it. I'll real quick. I'll throw out Ponder Tournament March 6th. We are moving the Stanley Ponder Cup Tournament. I mentioned it briefly last week, but it is officially March 6th, 2021. So we're going to push it back about 5 months. If anybody wants to come, if anybody wants to play, check out dropinstl.com and click the I think it's the 2020 SPMCT Tourney tab, and that'll tell you everything you need to know.
Well, I guess that'll do it. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming products. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with code LGB. Make your balls a priority this fall. And that will wrap up episode 8 of season 9 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder and Bill Day, I'm Kurt Price. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's lose Maple Leafs.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Bye, Joe.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at sports.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to #1. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win.